Thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 4. I'm Micah Smith. We start out with some breaking news. The Denver Department of Public Safety has released the police body camera footage from the police shooting in Lodo last month. On July 17th, around 1:30 in the morning, 3 officers shot Jordan Waddy after they say he pointed a gun at them. 6 innocent bystanders were also hurt. Denver 7's Jason Grenauer joins us here in the studio with the first look at this body camera footage. And Jason, from the very beginning, the public has been demanding the release of this video.
And Micah, police originally only showed or released still photos. Now we can watch exactly what happened and what led to 3 officers firing 7 shots, injuring the suspect and 6 bystanders. Now we do want to warn you, this may be difficult to watch. We have paused the video as the first shots were fired and parts have been slowed down to show detail and context. Now this is July 17th around 2 a.m. at 20th and Larimer. This halo camera video shows the suspect in a black sweatshirt near the front of that food truck appear to punch another man. That's why police became involved. Jordan Waddy in that black hoodie then walks away from officers. Eventually, this body-worn camera shows officers confronting him between vehicles. He stands in front of the bar. The suspect then reaches into his hoodie, pulls out a gun, and throws it to his side. A split second later, police shoot. This is another angle. It shows that gun, which was loaded but never fired, it was tossed to the side. Waddy did have his hands up. You can see him there going into his hoodie. That is the gun being thrown on the ground. The hands go up. That is when the officers fire. Now, eventually, we're going to go back to that halo camera to show how many people then fled, as many of them were in the direct line of fire of at least one officer. Now, Denver police are not commenting on the videos, but just this afternoon, Denver's district attorney announced a grand jury investigation into this shooting. Coming up at 5, Denver 7's chief investigator Tony Kovaleski will have much more on these videos, plus what police originally said after this shooting, and if that stands up now. I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Jason, for that breakdown. Now to the storms soaking Colorado today and yesterday all along the Front Range. We saw heavy flooding and storm-related damage. Just today, a massive tree fell in the street in downtown Denver at Larimer and 19th Street. And as you can see on the radar, this storm system is still making its way across the entire state. And take a look at this video from Broomfield showing the flooded streets near Midway Park. The National Weather Service says Broomfield got nearly 4 inches of rain this morning alone. Let's get over to Denver 7's Katie LaSalle, who's tracking when the storms will finally give us a break. Katie.
Micah, yeah, it's been such a soggy Tuesday. Some big soakers with those storms rolling through. At this hour, it's mostly cloudy with a few showers across the metro area. We finally hit 70 degrees out at DIA, but well below normal for this time of the year. Typically, we top out in the high 80s, so 60s and 70s for temperatures, and still that widespread rain impacting especially west and south of the metro area. You can see some heavier rain near Fraser down through Jefferson, moving into Bailey at this hour. The strongest thunderstorms are further south of Colorado Springs near Colorado City down to the border, Trinidad, and out over the far eastern plains near Kit Carson. No weather alerts in place for the metro area, but we did have a flood warning in effect for Broomfield, which saw 3.7 inches of recorded rainfall there in as little as 30 minutes. And we're still keeping an eye on the Grizzly Creek burn scar with a flash flood watch in effect until 10 p.m. Further south, Canyon City, Walsenburg, down across the southeastern plains, a flood watch will continue until late tonight. So the heaviest rain south of the Denver area with just a few showers lingering. But I will tell you it's really going to dry out and warm up over the next several days. I'll have your full forecast, Micah, coming up.
All right, sounds good, Katie. More problems in RTD parking lots. Some riders got an unwelcome surprise after returning to the Central Park station on Sunday. This is a video of gas pouring out of the gas tank of one victim's truck. Thieves drilled into the tank and filled up a gas can before fleeing. Over the past few months, this crime has become more popular along the Front Range. Some victims say enough is enough and that it's time for RTD or police to do something about it.
It doesn't feel like it's an expensive fix or something like that. It's just there's something broken in terms of the coordination around employing some simple steps, installing some cameras up in the air, some signs, those types of things.
RTD says it's taking the problem seriously and working with police to identify the thieves. President Biden has signed the $740 billion Inflation Reduction Act into law. The bill helps fight climate change. lowers healthcare costs, and is expected to lower the federal deficit by $300 billion. Now, to do that, the bill creates new taxes on corporate stock buybacks and a new 15% minimum tax on companies making at least $1 billion a year.
Millions of adults with mild to moderate hearing loss will soon have an easier way to get help. Today, the FDA issued a rule to allow hearing aids to be sold over the counter, no prescription needed.
There are many people with hearing loss who, when they find out they have a hearing loss, wait 5 to 7 years before they do something about it. But this gives people an opportunity to take that first step sooner rather than later.
The Hearing Loss Association of America says waiting to treat hearing loss can lead to other problems like isolation, cognitive decline, and balance issues. Now, these over-the-counter hearing aids should be more affordable than the ones that are currently available, which can be in the thousands of dollars. They will also have a clear return policy.
You know, hearing loss is unique for everybody. There's not a one-size-fits-all. So we don't want people to feel discouraged if they try something and it doesn't work. They should have the chance to return it and try something else. Or, you know, if need be, if their hearing loss is significant enough, they might need to see a hearing healthcare professional.
Now, these hearing aids are expected to be in stores and pharmacies as soon as October. And if you think you might need one, you can go to hearingloss.org/OTC for more information. First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive for COVID a couple weeks after her husband, the president. Now, her spokesperson says that she has mild symptoms and is taking Paxlovid. The First Lady got her second COVID booster shot in April. She is now staying at a home in South Carolina where she and the president have been vacationing. He is still testing negative. Well, it's also time to start thinking about flu shots as pharmacies and doctors' offices are starting to get their supplies in. The medical community usually looks at the southern hemisphere as a sign of what we can expect when flu season comes here. And according to Australia's health department, they're coming off their worst flu season in 5 years. The CDC says many people can get their COVID booster and their flu shot at the same time. The World Health Organization is now considering changing the name of monkeypox. There are concerns that it could be considered derogatory and could lead to economic issues in parts of the world.
The more our public health officials continue to, only describe the epidemiology in a certain community, certain risk group, the more individuals outside that risk group continue to ignore both warning signs and harm reduction strategies.
The WHO has already started naming monkeypox strains with Roman numerals. This is similar to that change that was made with COVID strains when it went from geographic areas to Greek letters. Well, the FBI has started getting more information from the public when it comes to violent events, and we're seeing how much of a difference this is making through threats that never happened.
Plus, Representative Liz Cheney could lose her seat in Congress. Up next, we're taking a look at what's at stake in Wyoming's primary election.